Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we are pleased to be joined once again by Tyler Reddick, the driver of the number 8 Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. Hey, Tyler, how's it going, man?
It's going good. Just enjoying the last few breaths of what seems like we have a month to go of this off season, but it's very much picked back up, and we're moving right along, getting ready for this next gen car and the season coming up ahead of us. So we're going to blink a few more times and we'll be in Daytona getting ready to take off and start the Daytona 500.
So really kind of going into that next gen test, I think, I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of people have been, your name has come up in a lot of conversations as somebody that is going to do very well in this next gen car. What is it like driving this car, first off?
Well, a lot is different in a lot of different ways. The characteristics, the tendencies of the characteristics that the old car had versus this one, the tendencies as a driver you have when you try and manage those characteristics. And then, above all else are old habits and just, comfort and experience that we fall back on is just, you just got to take an eraser to the whiteboard and start completely over. So this car is still a race car. A lot of things have changed, and in the way of change, they've, been updated, if you will. A lot of the parts and pieces of this car are much more in line with what is on the street today, and in pretty much every aspect of this car. So that makes it very challenging to take a short off season like we have we have, I think there's going to be, 4 to 5 of these, multi-day tests that we have, but still to completely try and understand a brand new car that's more different than anything that NASCAR has ever seen before in its history makes it very challenging to, kind of set down the foundation and where you're going to be kind of starting and trying to base a lot of your ideas and mindset and approach for the whole year. So that's been challenging. We're making the most of it, but certainly, it's not just us, the whole series, every team, every driver is going through the same thing. And so it's a reset, and it's really important for myself, for my team, our organization, for Chevrolet to do everything that we can to get ahead. If we can find an edge, get it now, and keep searching for new edges and new things that are going to help us, not just go fast, but be able to run smooth and execute in these races that we will have.
So let's talk about what this season's going to bring. I know that you guys had a good start, a good end of the year to cap off 2021. A lot of people are talking about, and people in my NASCAR group text, all of us people that cover the sport, about 8 of us are saying you're gonna have a pretty big year this year. What makes this year gonna be a really good year for you guys? What is really improved within RCR? Because I know that you guys have really stepped up your program.
Well, I wouldn't say there's just one detail that's been the difference maker, because honestly, in the sport, in many sports, it's not just one detail or one area of expertise that will push you over that hump to go from being, a fifth to top 15 contender to winning. It takes every aspect of our race, of our sport, if you will. We have to be good at a lot of different things. And this new car, this new variable, kind of like I just said, it was a reset. So, in a lot of ways, we were trying to catch up and get equal to a lot of these teams in some different areas where we were behind and needed to be better. And this car presented us with that opportunity. And that basically means, I don't know how much really, I don't think much changes for us in our approach going from this last car to this new car, the next gen car, because, we were already progressing on a pretty good rate at getting better, and in all the areas. It's like I said, not one specific thing that has probably been the difference maker or not. It's just that effort in general by this whole team, including myself, to just become better and take and not take no for an answer, or not let good enough be good enough, and just keep pushing. So for us, I think that's what makes this new car very exciting, because we were able to really make very big strides in the right direction, make up a lot of ground on our competitors. So if we can keep that going, that mindset and that approach, and stay on that path into this new year, I think that could hopefully put us ahead. That's our hope, but we won't get comfortable in that by any means.
Kind of a two-part question here. What was the biggest thing you guys improved on last year, and what is one thing you want to improve on this coming year?
Well, for I think for us, really, the biggest thing that we improved upon was just consistency throughout the season. A large area of that was just being better at road courses, making some details of our mile and a half program better, finishing and staying competitive throughout an entire race, or trying to get closer to that on the short tracks. And that was where we probably improved the most. And but something that, but in a way, one thing that comes with that search to become better in those areas also includes running at a high level, performing at a high level, but not making the mistakes while trying to operate at that level. And that was something that was important for us to make better and improve upon from the rookie season. And that was something that still continued throughout this last season, that was always seemingly right there to kind of bite us when we're having a good day or getting out of the hole of a somewhat mediocre day. Still making some of those mistakes, and a lot of those coming at the hands of the driver, just situationally not making the best decisions at that time. So for me, that's something that's very easy to fix, because it's in my hands. It's, as a driver, you're the biggest variable in the car, and because of that, you have, as an individual, you have a lot of things that you can change, tweak, make adjustments to hopefully be able to perform at that level and not make those mistakes at very untimely points in the race.
Yeah. Are you excited that Homestead's in the playoffs?
In ways, yes, and in some ways, I'm kind of, I would almost say I'm 50-50 on it. There's pros and cons to it. The positives for sure is that a track that historically has been very good for me is now in that final round of the playoffs leading into the championship four. And so if we do the right things throughout the year, have a good regular season, and have a good start to our playoffs, that is nice to have that venue be so close to the end of the year. But at the same time, that was a track for us that was good to have in the beginning of the year to kind of, get loose, get comfortable, get going into the season. Having it be very early last year and in the middle of the year 2 years ago was nice for us, because 2 years ago it came at a great time. We were kind of missing it a little bit, and that kind of helped us relax, and be comfortable and get more confident. And last year, kind of the same thing. Didn't have a great start to the year. We had it at a good time to kind of like shake it off. But last year, we still faltered a little bit past that. We were able to get around it eventually. So having it late's good, but we just makes it that much more important to do all the right things throughout the year, because it's so late in the playoffs that you can't just luck your way and get to Homestead and still be in the playoffs. There's a lot of good drivers and teams out there that we will have to race our way past and beat to just get to that opportunity at Homestead.
So where do you think, looking at this, these types of tracks, obviously the Atlanta test was yesterday. Did you get a chance to talk? I know you weren't there, but did you get a chance to talk to Ross about did you get a chance to watch or see how those cars were? What do you think about that? I don't know if you got a chance to talk to anybody about that.
No, I definitely haven't. Very, very huge changes came Atlanta's way, which it seemed inevitable for sure. The track was at that point, it was really starting to degrade, fall apart, and cause issues even in races for NASCAR. So and the teams and drivers. So it was time to do something, and this was the idea that came to mind, was to reconfigure it, give it some more banking, and change up the racing in Atlanta completely. So me personally, no, I haven't talked to Ross or any of the other drivers about it yet. But I've seen some clips, nothing crazy. But certainly, in the coming weeks, when the opportunities present themselves, I'll definitely be getting some feedback from some of the teams, some of the drivers, those that were in and around it, to somewhat get an idea of what we'll be getting into a little bit later this year.
When you look at going down, of course, the next gen test will be down at Daytona next week. What do you want to see out of the super speedway car? I know there's going to be a lot of you guys out there, but what's it going to be like to have you guys? I know that there was already a test there, but what's this one going to be like?
I really couldn't tell you. I think a lot of learning is going to take place. It's coming late enough in the off season where I think some teams will be wanting to learn, but learn cautiously. We all know how easy it is to make a mistake and cause a pretty large crash at Daytona or Talladega with the speedway type racing that we've produced or continue to produce. So with a brand new car, the field as big as it's going to be, I couldn't really say. I don't know what to really expect. Fortunately for myself, I'll be in the car on Wednesday, so I'll be around and be taking it in as the test begins Tuesday around lunch. So I don't know, but I definitely think there will be some that will be wanting to really understand what the limits of the car are going to be, and then there's going to be others that will have their own agendas. But we'll definitely get a really good read as to what we're all going to have when we come back for our biggest race of the year.
All right. Well, Tyler Reddick, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. And good luck at the next gen test, and good luck throughout the season. We'll talk to you again later on in the year.
Absolutely, Casey. Thanks for having me on.